Let's talk about your favorite subject, my pants.
What?
Here's what happened this morning.
What? I have nothing to do with this.
You know how I was in the bathroom a little bit longer than usual? After the shower stopped?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I was listening to my music, but...
Okay, check this out. So, like a week or two ago, I'm cleaning out a closet, and I find these old pants of mine that I really liked.
Uh-huh.
And for the life of me, I'm like, well, why haven't I worn these in a while? Why are they just in my closet? It's really nice. They're very comfortable.
Yeah.
So I threw them in the washer.
Uh-oh.
And get them out, all that good stuff. And when I'm packing to come over here the other day, I'm like, I should wear these pants. So let me put them in my backpack. Come over here. Comes to this morning. And I take out my clothes that I plan to wear after I get out of the shower. Get out of the shower, put the pants on. They're super comfortable. Button them up. And then I remembered why I don't wear these pants anymore. Do you want to take a guess of why I don't?
There's a huge rip where your butt is.
No.
Where there's a huge rip where your crotch is.
No. That's closer to correct. No.
There's a rip where your thigh is.
No.
Your hip.
No.
Your knee.
It doesn't have to do with the rip.
Oh.
Do you just want me to tell you, or do you want to guess?
It shrinks.
No. They're very comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
Yes.
You're too big for them?
No, they're very comfortable pants.
Okay, you'll have to tell me because I don't know why.
The zipper won't zip up.
Oh, no!
So I'm messing with it for like 5 minutes in your bathroom.
Yeah.
And I can't get the zipper, so I had to put on my other pair of pants that I just wore.
Have you ever thought about, you know how sometimes a material of your zipper gets stuck in it? Have you ever tried to pull the material away from it?
Yeah, and I don't think it's that. I don't know what it is, but unfortunately, the zipper doesn't work.
Oh no!
I could let you take a look at it if you want.
I could.
Yeah.
Why didn't I? Well, it's off. By the way, it's off of him.
Yeah. I know. I said I put on my other pair of pants, my dirty pair.
No, I just wanted to make sure that people knew that, so I wasn't, I'll take a look at the zipper and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I might be able to fix it.
I like any sexual innuendo. You're like, oh, why are you sure you guys know my family might hear this?
Bubs, I'm just saying, some people talk,
I know. I don't care if people talk about that type of stuff.
Well, I'm very private about these things. I don't want everybody, their mother, their brother, and their dog to know.
Okay.
It's kind of private.
What else? So, babes, when you're in the shower, there's a show I've been getting into, and we might have discussed it recently. I sent you a piece on 60 Minutes about this female who plays an instrument called the kora.
The kora, yep.
And in the piece, they interviewed a guy, and I think his name is Banner Air.
Yeah.
And he's a producer for a show called Afropop Worldwide.
Uh-huh.
So I started to get into the show. It's really good.
Oh, wow.
I'm downloading episodes to transfer onto my hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I come across one, and it said Music from the Underground. So I click on it just to read the description. We might want to listen to this when we make the fudge later.
Oh, yeah?
It's music. You know how I told you I read that book, Tunnel People?
Yeah.
About the people, obviously, who live in the New York subway system?
Yeah.
It was written back in the 90s, but this is music from those people.
Really?
Yeah.
From Tunnel People?
From the Tunnel People in New York.
Wow.
That's what it sounded like in the description of the show.
Did you listen to a little bit of it?
No, because I wanted to get to my book.
Wow.
And I thought since you were kind of interested when I told you about it, then maybe we could listen to that today.
That might be very different.
Yeah.
Huh.
How do you feel about that there, Jaylo?
Maybe we can listen to either Take the Floor or J to Z. I don't know.
Yeah, afterwards.
Wow, that would definitely be something to talk about. Yeah.
I agree.
Wow, that's music from the Tunnel People.
It's called Music from the Underground is the episode, but when you read the description, that's what it makes it sound like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So maybe we segue from that into J to Z, and then we go into Take the Floor.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
The happiest Scottish music show in the world.
Good evening, my family just died. Let's play some music. It's time to take the floor with Gary Anus.
Innes.
That's what I said.
You didn't say it like that.
Oh.
But Bubs.
Babes.
You're trying to corrupt a good show,
I
Bubs.
never would, babe.
Yes, you would, because you got a very big imagination, and we all know that.
Thank you.
Ooh.
From my face.
Feels like you're clean shaven.
Thank you there, little Jaylo.
As soft as a baby's bottom.
Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
I've been doing some reading.
Good.
In the Sam Peckinpah book.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having fun with that. I heard you kind of laughing or whatever.
All right, there's many stories in this book.
Yeah.
And I think I told you it this morning. The reason I wanted to read it was because Ira Stephen Bear was a fan.
Uh-huh.
I might have said that yesterday, the showrunner for DS9. So there's a lot to cover, but let me go through the thing that made me laugh this morning.
Okay.
In 1979, Sam Peckinpah has a heart attack, and he's rushed to the hospital. He almost dies. They struggle to get a pacemaker into his heart.
Yeah.
Like, they have to try it 3 different times. He keeps pulling out the cords and whatnot.
Ooh, wow.
And people are visiting him. They're not sure if he's going to live. He wasn't really close to that many of his relatives then.
Wow.
But a couple who he knew offered to let him stay with them.
Yeah.
Now, Peckinpah had rented some rooms at this hotel in Los Angeles, and sometimes he'd sleep there, but it was also a place where he could work on scripts and put together his film projects. And he says to them, I want to go back to the hotel. They go there, enter the door. He heads immediately to the bar. Couple follows them. He sits down on the bar stool. They sit down next to him. And bartender comes up. The couple is thinking he's going to order juice.
Yeah.
But he orders some drink that has gin and egg whites in it.
That's not a good... Ew.
And, by the way, so he had spent 2 weeks in the hospital.
It's not something you want to drink after a heart attack.
And the doctor was lecturing him about it, saying, you cannot drink like you used to. I don't want you to smoke anymore. You know, but it was like constant, the doctors nagging him about this.
Yeah.
All right, so he gets his drink, takes a big gulp of it, licks the egg whites off of his mustache, and then he grabs his chest and he falls off the stool. And the couple looks at him and he's pretending not to move for a second. Then he just starts laughing. And that's what cracked me up this morning.
I don't know what to think about that. Oh, wow. And he starts laughing because he's pretending that he's dying.
Exactly.
Wow. Who would want to drink a drink with egg whites, gin and egg whites in it? That sounds gross.
It sounds gross to me too. Now, I'm obviously not into the whole egg white revolution, but I never really liked gin that much either. Once in a while.
I heard that's pretty strong, but bless you.
Thank you.
But it sounded to me like somebody would have to have an acquired taste for that.
If we're talking hard alcohol, vodka was more my thing. I love vodka. Oh.
Yeah, if anybody didn't know that, he likes hard vodka.
Oh my goodness. Well, vodka and orange juice, a screwdriver. That was my go-to back in the day. How do you feel about this?
This is not the first time I'm learning about it, so I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
The book itself is super interesting. Oh, you were about to say something.
Was I?
It sounded like you were. Maybe not.
No, that was a funny story. I can understand why you would be laughing.
Yeah, so the book goes through a whole bunch of different things, a lot of which I didn't know about. I don't want to say what I talked about yesterday in relation to this. So he makes The Wild Bunch. It comes out, and it's a success, but it's not like the biggest movie of all time, right? But a lot of people really, really, really enjoy the film. And it does make some money. But with studio accounting, they always hide their profits. He starts to work on other movies. There's a film that he made with Dustin Hoffman, and it was for ABC Pictures. Because this was before Disney bought ABC. They were starting to have to pay more and more money for the rights to air movies on their TV network. So they thought, if we start our own movie studio, we'll just own those TV rights.
Mm.
And the film with Dustin Hoffman is kind of a disaster. Like 2 weeks into it, they're already behind 5 days of where they should be in their shooting process.
Mm-hmm.
Peckinpah is getting drunker and drunker on the set. At that point, he had to leave and go into rehab. And the producers came to him. One of them knew him fairly well and said, listen, I don't want to fire you because that will ruin your reputation. You'll never work in this town again.
Mm-hmm. If
you get clean and can stick to a schedule, we can work with you.
Mm-hmm.
He does it. They shoot the movie. I think it's called Straw Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only film he made that his mom enjoyed.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that film comes out. It does okay, but not great.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes The Getaway with Steve McQueen and Ali MacGraw. Now, Ali MacGraw was coming off of Love Story, which I've never seen, but it was a hit movie. Apparently, it's not that good, from what I've heard.
Well, I mean, if you're a woman,
I am.
No, you're not.
I identify as one.
Bubs.
No, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, if you were a woman in that time, then it was more like a movie for women. I think.
It made a ton of money though.
Yeah.
So, Getaway is this huge success. Then he goes to work for MGM, and MGM had recently changed studio heads. And the guy who's running it at that point had no respect for filmmakers. They tell the story in the book about how the great Blake Edwards was in the middle of shooting a film, and the guy running MGM at the time said to him, "We're cutting 15 days off of your production schedule." Mm-hmm. So he likes to cut costs wherever he can. One of these real slimy corporate dudes.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But Sam Peckinpah tells everybody, listen, I can control this dude. I have one stock in MGM. Mm-hmm. So if anything happens, I can go to a stock board meeting and start yelling at him.
Okay.
Didn't really work out that way, though.
Mm-hmm.
He starts shooting the movie, and one of MGM's stipulations was that they had to shoot at the specific spot in Mexico because it was going to be cheap. But Sam knew that there's a lot of dust in this location. So if he was going to shoot there, they needed to hire a special camera technician to fix any lenses on the cameras in case of any difficulty. He foresaw that. MGM didn't want to hire somebody. They're shooting for about 12 days before they can get back footage because they have to send it to LA to get processed. And then it has to come back to them in Mexico. And remember, this is like the mid-70s. So the process takes a while. You can't just email this footage. And Sam notices, along with the rest of the crew, that the shots they have been making are really messed up. It doesn't look right. Uh-huh. Still, the guy running MGM, it basically tells them, listen, people will pay to see whatever we put out. It doesn't matter if this film looks beautiful or horrible. Yeah. Well, Sam didn't take that news too well. He starts taking more and more time. Eventually, he gets the camera technician that he wants to come out, but he's wreaking havoc on the set.
Yeah.
Movie gets made, and they have a screening of it. Now, as a director, he has the right to have 2 screenings of it cut the way he wants it. Mm-hmm. And then the studio can take over and re-edit the movie.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So, MGM tells him, okay, you get your 2 screenings, but they're going to be on the MGM lot. You're limited to 16 guests. And we're not going to allow any film critics to see this movie because if it's great and we edit it, we don't want it to come out what a masterpiece this is. Now, this was also Sam Peckinpah's interpretation of it. Right. Of course. Because the film he edited was like 2.5 hours and the studio wanted a 90-minute movie. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sam secretly screens it for Martin Scorsese, Pauline Kael, and a third person who I can't remember right now. Mm-hmm. And they really enjoy the film. Comes to the 2 screenings. People aren't really feeling it. Sam goes to his office on the MGM lot with his friends, and everybody's distressed because they know that this movie's going to get butchered.
Mm-hmm.
One of Sam's friends realizes, well, wait, I bet the copy, your version of it, is still in the screening room. Why don't we go now and steal it? So they do, but they forgot the sound reel. So they have to go back, and they eventually get the movie that Sam wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And they spend like the next 12 years hiding it, putting it in refrigerators, vaults. 2 years after Sam's death, they screened the movie at some college. And like the next day, MGM sent them a letter, I think his estate, acquiring about where the film is. Eventually, somebody from the Z Channel, which I think was an early cable network that showed obscure films, was able to talk Ted Turner into restoring the film to Peckinpah's original version. Okay, so there's that interesting stuff. Sam was with a lot of women, and when he was in England, I think he was preparing for Straw Dogs, the Dustin Hoffman film, but don't quote me on that. He met a secretary.
Another one.
Yeah, and her story was a little bit bizarre too. So her parents escaped the Holocaust, I think in the early 30s. So they never went to a concentration camp, but all of their family died on both sides. So it's just her two parents and her. When she's 12, the parents send her away to boarding school because they don't want to spoil her too much. Right?
Yes.
Because it's just all them.
Yes.
Okay. I think she's like 18. Her mom goes to the hospital because she has something wrong. And the doctors think that it might be cancer. Now, it turns out that her mom wasn't dying from cancer. It was something else. But before they get the results back, the dad kills himself because he thinks that he can't live without his wife.
Oh.
So she had a really messed up childhood and all that.
Wow.
She is a very hard worker, which is what Sam Peckinpah needs. And they end up kind of falling in love. At some point, the production moves on and Sam moves back to LA. She flies out to be with him. And she's there for like a couple weeks. And the plan is for her to be out in LA for 6 months. And a couple weeks in, he leaves to go shoot another movie and tells her, I just want you to stay here at home. She obviously is a little upset by this and gets a secretarial job at a movie studio. And Sam has his friends spy on this girl. Now, he gets another woman pregnant, who is one of his other wives. So I remember yesterday I told you that there was a booty call that resulted in the birth of his son when he was separating from a wife. This is, I think, one or two wives after that. He married a woman from Mexico, and he goes to Mexico, gets her pregnant. She gives birth to a daughter. He denies paternity in public. But in private, he'll hang out with the kid once in a while. And he gave the mom money to help raise the daughter until he died.
Wow.
So,
wow.
There's all this craziness going on. Now, meanwhile, I read this part this morning. The son that he had that was the booty call with the first ex-wife is starting to grow up. And Sam just rides him on the littlest things. And he does this with all of his kids too, but they said that he was really tough on his son. And any little screw up, he would just yell at the son for hours. So gets to the point. His son is about 18, so I'm guessing this is the late 70s, early 80s. And Sam is yelling at him, and finally starts to raise his hand to the kid, and his son fights back. And it's kind of like getting some jabs in at Sam. And then the son just like leaves the house, doesn't talk to his dad for a while. The next time they see each other, Sam looks at him and says, "Oh, I beat my dad up once too." And they just kind of move on. What do you think of this dude?
Huh?
What do you think of this dude?
Very dysfunctional.
Oh.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him, I think. I think he needs like severe therapy. Some kind of therapy. Psychotherapy. I don't know.
Do you think...
I beat up my dad once too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you believe
Mm.
that we need crazy people like Sam Peckinpah to make really provocative art?
I don't know that they have to be all crazy though. I mean, there's crazy, and then there's like, I mean, there's not crazy. There's people that have their issues, and we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like really crazy, like manipulation and all that. I don't know. We could appreciate somebody's art like that, but this guy's really crazy.
Yeah. He also made Bring Me the Head of
Alfredo Garcia.
Yeah. Which
wow.
is considered a really bad movie, but apparently Sam Peckinpah defended it up until his death. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bad movie.
It does. Because I told you the premise this morning.
Yes, it sounded really bad.
Yeah.
Actually, he told it to me last night.
Oh, okay. I thought it was early this morning.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to learn more about Sam Peckinpah?
I really don't think so.
Oh.
He sounds like a nut job.
He does.
A severe nut. Like he sounds like somebody that should have been put in the funny farm for, it seemed like Sam should have been put in the funny farm when things were about ready to get crazy.
Oh, you're going to love this, though.
What?
So,
every time you say that, I get worried.
He has a girlfriend in the late 70s. And this was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. She left him after she found out that he was recording her phone conversations and keeping recorders around her hotel room.
Huh.
And he tries to play it off like it's a joke.
That sounds like somebody I know.
See, well, he had some genius aspects to his personality.
Yeah, but Bubs.
What's up?
Yeah, but Bubs, you record stuff, and then I kind of have to accept it because you're like, well, we couldn't, and I don't even know.
Oh, but we're talking about Sam Peckinpah.
I'm talking about you, though.
Oh.
You're not crazy, though. You're not, like, so crazy that I can't be around you.
Well, I know I've said this. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I think anybody who is seriously involved in the arts has to have a tinge of craziness to them.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, we very much disagree.
I don't believe that. I don't think every artist has to be like super cray-cray to create really good art.
I have never met an exception to this rule. And I've known a lot of people in the arts.
Yeah, but your friends are weird.
Yeah, but there's people who I'm not friends with who I've noticed it with. You know what I mean?
Huh?
There are people who are not in my inner circle that I've noticed this with.
Yeah, but we even know people that aren't weird like that. I mean, they might have their issues, but they're not super cray-cray.
Okay.
In fact, we know somebody locally that I won't say that doesn't seem very weird to me.
Oh, well, good. I like the way you say that. We know somebody locally who doesn't seem that weird.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, you don't even know who it is because I haven't said their name.
No, I have a rough idea. Give me a kiss.
I don't think you do, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I don't think you do.
Give me a kiss. What? Jaylo Peckinpah?
I really don't know if I want to know about this guy because he sounds very, very, very severely dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I mean, really dysfunctional.
And, I mean, I got the sense that whenever a movie didn't work out, except with Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, he would just go out into the press and say, the studio took it away from me. But he neglects to mention that he was like an extreme alcoholic. Like they said on one of his movies, he was maybe sober for 4 hours out of the day while working on it. I think that's the Dustin Hoffman one, if I'm remembering right. No, that might have been the one that they shot in Mexico. I'm sorry. And there was another movie that I was reading about where... So he was really good friends with James Coburn and Jason Robards.
Oh, wow.
But there was another movie. It was near the end of his career. And James Coburn wanted to get his Director's Guild card.
Did Jason Robards die?
Yes.
That's right. He did, right?
He did.
Okay. That's what I thought.
So Peckinpah told him, you can come down here and be my assistant director and basically James Coburn ended up directing like a good portion of the finished product because Sam Peckinpah was just too drunk to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a real winner.
Oh.
A real stand-up man.
Oh my goodness. I disagree with you on that, but
no, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it?
No, that was a guy who takes things way too literally.
Oh, just like Charlie Brown said in his Christmas special. Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it?
Well, good. Well, I've been getting into Sam Peckinpah. You've been getting into a amazing father named Bing Crosby.
Well, I mean, not quite deep into him, but I was looking for some interviews because I wanted to find the full interview with him and Barbara Walters because that was like his most controversial one from what I understand.
I believe so.
And she was doing a little bit of a segment on the interviews she did with people that died right after it. Like John Wayne died like
3 months.
3 months after. But she said that he was exactly who he was like on screen. So there was no, he wasn't pulling any punches or anything. But she said that Bing Crosby actually, you see him in movies and he seems very easygoing. But when she asked him a question about his kids, it's like she was interviewing an authoritarian, is what she said. She's very much an authoritarian. Because she asked him if one of your sons, and I don't know if he has just sons or if he has daughters. Oh boy, if he's really if he was really horrible to his sons, I mean, can you imagine how horrible he might have been to his daughters? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, there might. Well, we're not going to go there.
I don't think he was like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway, I think he was.
My mind always goes to like incest.
Oh, you are sick.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Because I'm not doing it. I don't believe in me doing incest. I'm non-incest boy.
Don't make another character about that.
N-I-B, non-incest boy.
No, don't joke about that.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Don't joke about nib. Anyway.
All right, go ahead, please.
Anyway, because I understand that this man grew up in a totally different generation.
Yes.
Much older than my parents' generation, but even then my parents grew up in another country.
Well, and even than your grandparents. And so to put it in some perspective, Bing Crosby was born before my great-grandmother was.
In 1903.
Yes.
And what's his name? Bob Hope was born not that long afterwards.
I think the same year.
Oh wait, it wasn't Bob Hope I was thinking about. It was somebody else. I forgot who it was.
Okay.
1907 he was born. And I can't remember for the life of me who it was.
Oh, you're thinking of John Wayne.
Thank you.
We'll get to him in a minute, but let's stay with Bing Crosby.
Okay, so she interviews him, and understanding that he's from a different generation, she asks him, so you have teenagers now. What if one of your teenagers came up to you and said, I'm living with my girlfriend, and I just want you to know that, and, she and I want to visit, and we wanted to know if we could share the same room. And he said in the beginning, oh, that's not going to happen in my house. And then he proceeded to say, and if that, and so if they ever did that, what would you do? And he's like, I'd never speak to them again. And I'm like, wow, that's extreme. That's extreme. I could understand if he would be heartbroken about that, and I get that, because if he didn't raise kids that way, then that's one thing. But to say that he would never talk to them again, like he would never try to understand what was going on, why they were thinking that it was okay to do that. And I get that if that was the rules of his house, that was the rules of his house, and that's because you have the right to say no about what goes on in your house. Yep,
certainly the rule in my house.
Whatever.
Sorry, go ahead.
Bubs.
Go ahead.
I know sarcasm when I hear it.
Oh.
And so it just sounded like there would be no room for any of his sons repenting or any talking about it or forgiveness or anything like that. It was just like it was my way or the highway, and if you don't fall in line, you're dead to me. That's exactly what it seemed like to me. And I was just like, oh wow, unbelievable.
I like some Bing Crosby stuff. I'm not going to say I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, and I felt this way for a very, very, very long time, way before we started dating, he sounds to me like a colossal prick. Because, okay, so it's kind of the example I gave you last night, because I'm reading about Sam Peckinpah and you're getting into Bing Crosby. Sam Peckinpah seems like the kind of guy who, if you mouthed off to him and you were his kid, he'd whip your ass. And Bing Crosby seems like the kind of guy, if you mouthed off to him and you were one of his children, he'd whip your ass and then he wouldn't talk to you for like 6 months to a year, even if you're a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
How do you feel
But
about
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We have this idea of how people are on screen, and then when you find out how they really are off screen, or if they even admit that, it's so disappointing.
But it's different for us because by the time we came around, it was known that he hated kids.
Well, I didn't even know that until much later. I didn't even know that until a friend of mine was talking about it, and I was like, wow, because he was talking about somebody he met who was supposed to come off as being like, what would you call it, like a loving person, a family oriented person on because of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about somebody named what was his name? Tom Clay. Yes.
I don't even know who that is.
So Tom Clay is a singer, or not a singer, but he's come out with some things, and he seems like he likes kids and all that stuff. But he met him, and he said that he was horrible.
I gotta ask you a question. And I don't mean this to sound condescending, but it's probably going to. Is Tom Clay like a star, or is he a star in like the Christian community?
No, he's not in the Christian community. He was a major star.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, that didn't sound condescending, but I was wondering why you even asked that.
Because I'd never heard of this Tom Clay, and I know music and movies pretty well.
Yeah, I'll ask the dot to talk about Tom Clay, but apparently, according to my friend, he sounded like a horrible person, and he was talking about Bing Crosby, how disappointed people were to find out that he beats his kids, and then he was the one who actually told me about the interview about that, what was going on. So I knew about that before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was talking about Bob Hudson, who is a part of the comedy duo Hudson and Landry.
Yeah.
And he said that Bob Hudson was super nice, and he thought that Bob Hudson might have been he thought that Bob Hudson was going to be like a total snob, but he was actually really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
And he said that Dr. Demento was nice.
Yep.
And some other people that he met were nice, but Tom Clay was one of the people I didn't like. And,
wow.
Yeah.
I was over at one of my mom's friends' apartments. This was like the early 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if White Christmas came on, but something with Bing Crosby was on, and he said, I can't watch this stuff. My mom's friend said this because of how he used to beat his kids. And I was a little kid. I didn't really know who Bing Crosby was. I maybe I heard the name before. And then a couple years after that, I saw clips of the Bing Crosby Barbara Walters interview on it, like some specials he was doing. And maybe a year or two after that, I was watching Lifetime, because on Sunday nights back in the day, they used to air Barbara Walters interviews.
Wow.
And they showed the whole Bing Crosby interviews. But I don't think I've seen the whole Barbara Walters Bing Crosby exchange since the mid to late 90s.
Wow. No, I did not. I didn't see that full interview, and I'm trying to find it. I think that it's safe to say that artists like that, it's probably the safest thing is to enjoy their art, even though they have some real they had some real severe problems.
I would not want to meet Bing Crosby in real life.
And I don't think I would either,
but
unfortunately.
The Country Girl is a great movie.
The Country Girl is a great movie.
And I'm not a Christmas fan. I don't dig that stuff. But
maybe one day you will be.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know, Buzz. You could change your mind.
We'll see.
You could change your mind.
But I'm not that offended by White Christmas.
I'm not either. I'd like to see it. I heard good things about it.
Well, I mean, I meant the song.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm not offended about hearing the song White Christmas. I heard the movie was good. Yeah, I like that song, actually.
Let's move on to John Wayne.
Yeah.
I was telling you last night that in some ways, I see John Wayne and Frank Sinatra as two sides of the same coin. Like, Frank Sinatra to me is a liberal douchebag, and John Wayne to me is a conservative douchebag. And we were talking, and I said, John Wayne, this macho guy, testified on the House of Un-American Activities, didn't bother serving in any wars, but yet he's going to pretend like he's super patriotic, and he was for supremacy, for white supremacy. And we even Googled it, and it turns out that he was.
Yeah, I mean, if he were to come out and say that he didn't agree with what Angela Davis was teaching about, because she was teaching about some controversial stuff, and she was a known communist, I could understand that, but to say that black people shouldn't be in leadership, that's a step too far.
Yeah.
It's just like if it were somebody from another ethnicity. If they were saying about somebody from another ethnicity than a black person. I don't. It didn't make him sound good at all.
And he was, from what I've heard, pretty sexist. Too. And I know it was a different time, and you can't really judge people from today's standards. But okay, so I think I said it here before, so I'll make it really quick. My mom used to go to this hair salon when she was like a little kid. And apparently John Wayne used to go to this place when he was in Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
And my mom said, she would talk to the women there. And John Wayne would just when he was hanging there, he'd slap their asses like that. Now, hold on, babes.
Oh, you mean like that?
Babes, hold on. It's me doing it. No, me doing it is different. I'm demonstration boy. And I'm dating you. But also I'm dating you, right? So, and I can enjoy giving out a good spanking once in a while. But hold on, babes, let me talk. But there's a difference between spanking somebody in jest that you're dating versus going to a salon and spanking the women there.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. It's almost like he's treating the salon like a bar, because a lot of women get smacked on the butt in bars. Yeah, because that's the atmosphere. I would imagine they would even be smacked like that in strip clubs.
I think there are actually rules against it, but some places you might be able to be a little bit loose.
I think at bars you usually get that most of the time. I think you're right. I think at clubs like that, I think the bouncer would kick you out if any of the women were hurt.
I think so. No, it obviously depends on the place.
Or they beat you up before they kick you out or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But having this badmouth John Wayne, let's also say that I'm sure he had some good qualities. And I get the sense from him that he probably knew black people that he really liked, but as a race, he didn't think that black people were equal to him. And that's very disturbing to me, right? And you could say, oh, he's a product of his time. Yes, but there were people, white people even back then, who felt differently than John Wayne did.
Oh, I would agree. But I've been hearing about McCarthyism, and you mentioned Joseph McCarthy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been coming out and saying that McCarthyism was very wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. It ruined people's careers.
Mm-hmm. They're basically being blacklisted.
Because they might be communists or have gone to a communist meeting in the past. And this country is supposed to stand for ideas, right?
I think there is cause to be concerned, but just to blacklist somebody for going to a meeting that you wouldn't go to, I think that's a step too far.
And apparently John Wayne testified or was involved in it somehow. I don't know if he testified, but he apparently was on McCarthy's side during this, which is disturbing on another level, because in your industry, you're going to do something that'll hurt other people because they don't have the same politics as you do.
Yeah, I don't believe in going behind the scenes and doing that to people, even if you don't agree with their ideas. I don't know.
Yeah, but also, again, having said that, it's possible that if I met John Wayne, he would be a very nice guy, and I'd think, oh, this guy's like super cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a little bit different, but I always heard that even though his politics were a little bit off, that Charlton Heston was a very nice man. And by the way, Charlton Heston, even though he was a conservative, for the most part on many things, he was very liberal when it came to race.
What do you mean?
Well, he marched with Martin Luther King back in the day. He promoted interracial relationships in his movies.
See, this is where I don't understand.
Go ahead.
How come back then it was considered a progressive idea, but a lot of conservatives have really, really attached onto it.
Attached onto
to the idea of interrace relationships, because that actually, the civil rights movement actually came out of the Republic. I can't talk. The civil rights movement actually was a Republican project. So I think it's interesting that it would be considered a progressive idea.
I could give you a quick history lesson.
I don't think I want that.
But you said I could help you understand. You got to understand a couple things. There was a time where the Republican Party was a little bit more liberal. But then we had things like the Southern Strategy. Also, who was that? Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond was big in the conservative movements, and he was super racist. Who was that guy who defended him? Trent Lott. There's a lot of racism in conservative movements around this country. And I would invite you to look into it. I'm giving a very brief overview, and I'm not doing a good job. And people always say Martin Luther King was a Republican. And that's actually true. He was a Republican. And he said that the only time he voted Democrat was to vote for JFK because he was a personal friend of his. But the Republican Party of 1960 is not the Republican Party of today.
Well, can you explain why there were a lot of Klansmen in the Democrat Party? Because that's where the Klan came out of.
It didn't come out of just...
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. Not exclusively.
Yes, it did. It never came out of the Republican Party, and the Democrats want to blame the Republicans for that. But nothing has changed. It's always been out of the Democratic Party.
Well, okay, let me...
I...
Can I talk?
No.
Can a brother talk?
No.
A couple things to consider. You're making it sound like there's no Republicans ever who have been in the KKK. One, that's just not true.
Really? What about Senator Byrd?
Yeah, but you make it sound like every member of the Klan throughout time has been a diehard Democrat. I would press back on that.
No, because the Democrats were responsible for Jim Crow laws. They were also responsible for lynchings.
Okay.
They were also responsible for the Klan.
You want me to break this down to you?
No.
I going to say my piece.
Hey,
and then we'll move
because you kind of ramble too, you know.
Okay, but I have to break this down a little bit. Just like the Republican Party was a lot different in, let's say, the 50s, so it's the Democratic Party. And I know we go back to him, and it's partially because I read a very, very long book series on him. But Lyndon Johnson in his personal life was a super racist dude. From what I read, he wasn't in the Klan, but he had a lot of friends who were. And he would say many, many, many disparaging things about black people in private. Now, having said that, if you look at his record on civil rights, there's no other president in modern times who even comes close to Lyndon Johnson on what he did to further the civil rights. He did a lot of good stuff on civil rights. So there's a lot of contradictions. So both parties have changed over the years. So Democrats, saying somebody was a Democrat doesn't necessarily mean they were liberal. So it's kind of like, let me give an example of, and I know I'm rambling, so I'm going to try to wrap it up soon.
And I wanted to mention something after you say that, because I'm thinking about reading books by this person later on. But you go on and finish it.
I got to publish a book first. But
no, not you.
Okay. But it's kind of like, you know how people say now that there's a war in the Republican Party between the MAGA people and like the establishment Republicans.
Big divide. Yep.
Okay. People would make the argument that in the 1930s and 40s, there was a big divide in the Democratic Party between the FDR wing and the more establishment people, who would be the old-time Dixie Democrats, the more racist Southern portion of the party.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know much about how much of a Democrat that Kennedy or Roosevelt was, although I heard that Roosevelt, Teddy, and Franklin did a lot of good things.
Yes.
Very positive things. So I don't know. But what I was going to say is I'm thinking about reading. I mentioned this guy's name to you. I don't know if I mentioned it here. There's a guy named Bob Woodson who has personally been involved with the civil rights movement. And he has a very interesting perspective on it, because he is a black man that used to be a part of the civil rights movement. And he noticed over the years that the civil rights movement has become more liberal than it was in its conception. And I'd like to read some of those books with you if I can find one.
You have told me about Bob Woodson before. I have a few questions about his take on things, because it sounds like he doesn't take into account things like Reaganomics.
Yeah, but you don't even know about this guy, Bubs.
But that's why I say I have questions. He doesn't take into account what Richard Nixon did to the Black Panthers. So it's...
Well, and by the way, just to give you a little bit of context, some of his stuff actually discusses the difference between how rich black people were treating poor blacks, and this was like towards the 70s, after the civil rights movement happened.
Okay.
And then he actually left the civil rights movement for various reasons too. So he's talking about how it affected his own community from a different perspective.
It sounds to me, and I'm an outsider, like his general thesis is liberalism is wrong because it co-opted our movement and it made black people worse.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you what it sounds to me like. And when people say that, there's factors that they don't take. They conveniently ignore these right-wing factors too. But I having said that, I would be willing to read some books that Bob Woodson wrote with you, but I'm going to do it with a critical eye.
Uh-oh.
But I'm still going to do it, though, if you want
Well, just because he didn't explain what you wanted him to explain, that doesn't mean that what he's saying is wrong.
It doesn't mean that what he's saying is wrong, but what it means is it's slanted towards one side, and you take out a big portion of history in order to make your points. So it's not necessarily that it's wrong, but it's very skewed in one direction, and it's only giving part of the information.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, from someone who actually was a part of the civil rights movement.
And I would think that somebody who's really a part of the part of the civil rights movement from back in the day, and I don't know because I haven't read this man's book, so I could be wrong. That's why I'm willing to. He would talk also about what Nixon did, and not just what the Democrats did, and what Reagan did, and not just what the Democrats did, and what the Bushes did, and not just what the Democrats did. If it's the Democrats' faults, then you're leaving too much there. You're not telling the full story.
Well, we'll just see, Bubs.
You're your he, babes.
You're the he, Bubs. You're the he. Ow!
Oh, what was that?
Hey!
Give me a kiss.
Oh. Okay.
Kissy time. Did my nails hurt or what?
They were kind of scratching up against me, and it kind of hurt.
Oh, sorry, babes.
And you were scratching kind of hard.
I didn't know.
And I have long nails too.
I was like barely scratching. I was like trying to tickle you.
Well, Bubs, sometimes when you tickle me, you tickle hard.
Oh my goodness.
It's not like this, but it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
All right. Well, I told you.
Yeah.
There's a 3-part biography on Theodore Roosevelt that I want to read. And also, I would be willing to reread the 4-part, hopefully 5-part one day, biography on Lyndon Johnson with you, if you'd be open to that.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That's a long book.
Yeah, but it gives you more of an insight to history. I really like the Lyndon Johnson one.
Did you know that? So I saw that movie in my high school U.S. history class about Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. And I heard that he married, like his wife was supposed to be one of his like distant cousins.
Yes.
Because I remember in the movie, he says good night to his wife, and then he also says, "Good night, my cousin." I'm like, that's weird. But I guess back then it was okay. I just think it's really, really weird.
I do too. But that doesn't take away from the good stuff he did as well.
There was one time, I forgot what show it was on, but it was kind of disturbing. It was very disturbing, actually. This lady grows up and doesn't meet this guy for, until however long it was. And she finds out later on that he is her cousin. I don't know how far removed he was. I don't know if he's first or second. But they didn't grow up together, and they also didn't know about each other until they became adults, and they started dating, and they got married.
That's gross.
So now she calls him she has called him her husband. And I'm like, I would be very, I don't know. That's just weird to me.
Yes.
Husband.
I would agree with you on that one, babes.
So would she be his knife?
I guess so.
Cousin knife?
Yeah.
That's just weird to me.
Yeah.
That's just weird to me. The first cousin thing is super weird.
Yeah, but we're going to read some presidential biographies at some point. I really would like to start with the Lyndon Johnson book, but I understand it's a long haul, so we might want to go something else. They're fun, though. They're really good books, and you learn a lot about American history.
I'd like to read something about Calvin Coolidge, because I don't know much about this guy. My former professor who was teaching a political science class I was in, and this was back in, I think it was like 2009. Mm-hmm. And he said that his favorite president to learn about was Calvin Coolidge, because he wasn't old enough to remember that, because Calvin Coolidge was around before he was born. But I heard that, didn't you tell me that he was in radio?
Calvin Coolidge, if I'm remembering right, oh God, I read this book over 10 years ago. He had something to do with early radio. I don't know if he was an FCC commissioner or he was like an executive at RCA. I have to research that, but I did read that years and years ago. Well, what we might want to do, babes, maybe we read the first volume of the Lyndon Johnson book, and then we read the Calvin Coolidge book.
If there's one.
Well, I'm sure there is. Okay. Every U.S. president has a book about them. Okay. Then we read the second Lyndon Johnson book. Then we read, I don't know, a Kennedy book or something. Or it doesn't have to be Kennedy. It could be somebody else.
Could be Roosevelt.
It could be Roosevelt.
I'd like to read a book on McKinley, because I don't know much about him either.
I don't know a lot about McKinley either.
What was his name? Was it Everett McKinley? I forgot what his first name was.
I honestly I don't remember.
Okay.
But we could do that. We could alternate. For every biography of the Johnson book we read an alternate biography of like a more obscure president, like James Garfield. Who was barely in office.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
There may not be a whole lot of books about him.
No, every president has a biography.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, so that could be a project for us. But we got to get through, you got to get through 11/22/63. Then we got to do what we talk about.
Why we kiss under the mistletoe.
That one. And then we got to get through Lolita.
Yes, but I also want to read the John Bunyan book I wanted to read, and the other modern one.
Oh.
I also want to read some apologetic stuff.
So I don't know when we're going to get around to these presidential books.
We will eventually.
Okay. I think it's good to know your history.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many presidents that I wish I knew more about, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for
and
you.
I don't know that any of them have picked their noses.
I'm pretty sure they all have. Wasn't that the thing with Trump? Didn't he like pick his nose and rub it off on Kim Jong-il's forehead or something?
No, that wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
You're probably thinking of Frederick Douglass because you said, "Oh yeah, he probably picked his nose."
Oh.
That's what you said.
Oh, good.
I'm like, what?
Oh, good.
You know that sometimes when people have asked really old folks like what got you to this point? How did you make it to the age that you're at? And they're like, "Oh, well, I ate like 2 cheeseburgers a day, or I ate popcorn, or I picked my nose."
Yeah.
and they always say these weird things.
Masturbate a lot.
Oh, jeez.
That's what Ernest Borgnine said on Fox News, nonetheless.
How do you know? You heard it?
Yes.
Wow.
We can actually pull it up after this if you don't believe me. I think he had just turned 90, and the host is like, "What do you Mr. Borgnine? You're 90 years old. What do you attribute your long, healthy life to?" And he looks at him. He's like, "I masturbate a lot."
Oh wow! You probably wanted to come up with the most weirdest answer ever.
I thought it was funny.
I'm sure you did.
Yes. Yes. I was more of a fan of his son, Ernest Borg 10.
Ah.
Bum.
Yeah, I remember there was one report that said that he died, but he didn't die.
Well, he died afterwards.
He died afterwards, but there was a false report of him dying years ago. I can't remember what it was.
Yes.
Ernest. That's a weird name. Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
Borgnine sounds like a... Borgnine sounds like Deep Space Nine, except it's a ship. It sounds like a ship, right? The Borgnine.
Kind of, yes.
It's owned by the Borg.
Again.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Babes.
Yeah?
What did we do for dinner last night?
Oh, we made a very yummy, scrumptious green bean casserole.
Tell me.
We forgot to add the chicken stock, which I totally forgot about that.
I did too.
We could do something with that maybe next week because I think it'll still be okay.
Oh.
We put some cream of mushroom soup in there. I think it was 2 of them, right?
Yep.
We put in 2 bags of thawed out green beans, and we put some cheese on that. There's still cheese left, right?
Yes, a little.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then we put some leftover gravy that was given to me. It was in my fridge, and that came together really well. And then we cooked the bacon first,
and some pepper,
and a chopped pepper. So that was, and then on top of all that, we put some French fried onions, and it tasted really good.
It did. I'm glad we made it, babes.
I'm glad we did too, and I got some leftover.
Well, good.
I'm glad you let me finish it off there. Bye-bye.
No worries there, Jaylo.
Yeah, I love a green bean casserole. Oh, I love a green bean casserole. The ones that I've had, I could barely taste the green beans, so they were probably shredded in there.
Yep.
And it had like ground beef and some cheese and whatever sauce was in there. I love green bean casserole. It's really good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then we watched some movies.
Yes.
We started off with Till the End of Time.
That was really good, I have to say.
Yeah, that was. Do you want me to give it like a brief overview?
I will.
Oh, okay.
I will. So it's about these 3 GIs that came back from the war, and their families and friends are really excited to see them home, but with each of these GIs, something is going on with them. One lost his legs in the war. The other one has a metal plate in his head, and the other one is suffering from some kind of PTSD because he seems very edgy.
And we might want to say too, it's really about the one who's suffering from PTSD until like the last third of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Okay. And there's a cast of characters. You got you've got this woman who lives next door to Cliff Harper. Cliff Harper is like the main character in this movie.
Yes.
And her name is Helen Ingersoll, and I'm thinking she's like 13 years old.
That's what I thought.
But she's like actually 19. 18 or 19.
Yeah.
But she's a weirdo.
She is.
She has this big, huge crush on Cliff, and Cliff has this major crush on this woman named Pat Ruscombe, who was married for a short time, but her husband died in the war. And that kind of went on as a story was moving on, where she was trying to deal with her husband's death. He was trying to deal with the jealousy that one captain was trying to take her away from him because he wanted her for his girl, and I thought he was crazy jealous. And his Cliff's parents didn't understand what was going on with him. He kept leaving his house early and not coming back until much later. And he had his other friend, Perry, who was dealing with being in a wheelchair and his mom taking care of him because he didn't want to use his prosthetic legs. I guess back then they weren't that great.
Yeah.
And he was still in pain.
Honestly, I didn't even know that they had them back then, prosthetics. But I guess they did. I
would imagine they did, yeah. Or at least a way to do them. But I heard that now they look real and they work a lot better because of technology.
Yeah.
And even the prosthetic arms. Also, Bill, his friend Bill, the one who had a metal plate in his skull, was getting all these headaches, and he was afraid, Cliff was afraid that Bill was going to do something really, really stupid. And so they're dealing with all that stuff. I'm kind of doing the brief overview because there's a lot of things that happen. And at the end of it, I didn't care for the ending because Cliff was like, well, Dad, everything's going to be all right. I'm going to be a better man, and I'm going to do my best, and I have a good job, and I have a girl. I want to be with my girl for the rest of my life if she'll have me, and I'm going to be okay. So they don't really touch on their problems. He does end up with Pat.
Yep, they hug at the very end of the movie.
Yeah. But it seems like they just wrap it up into a nice little bow, but don't really address their real issues.
I would agree with that. The ending is a little bit too goody for my taste, but everything leading up to the ending was very well done, I thought.
Yes, it was.
I like the way that they addressed the issue of mental health in this movie. They talk about war and what it does to you without saying too much about it. I really like this movie. I'd give it a strong 7 or a weak 8. It definitely gets a thumbs up.
I give it a strong 7. I think that it was realistic of the parents to act the way that they did because they didn't understand what their sons were going through, or at least his parents didn't understand it. But I'm glad that the dad was willing to go through it with him because he had to figure out have to go through it with his son being gone to the war.
I wouldn't say go through it with him.
But,
I would say more like be there for him.
Be there for him, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
You know what I mean.
But I just wanted to clarify, babes.
Go through it, be there.
I know, but it's not... Okay.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but I wanted to clarify. Oh, and I won't clarify anymore.
No, Bubs, you know what I meant.
I know, but I wanted to clarify, babes.
Okay.
Okay. Babes.
What? What?
What is it? Sorry,
what?
I'm laughing at that. What does this film say about how we treat our veterans?
I think that I think it's sad how they're being treated right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's shameful how they're being treated right now because veterans are having problems with getting help from the VA hospital, and they have been having problems for years even, to get good help from them.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame. Even younger people have been really treating veterans. I mean, I've been hearing about veterans being beat almost to death.
Oh wow.
Yes. I've heard horror stories about veterans that were left in the home in the VA hospital, and they didn't even know that this veteran died until like a couple days later.
That's rough.
It is. I think that some, not all Americans, but some Americans do not treat veterans with the honor they deserve because they were fighting for our country. They were fighting for our freedoms. I think it's shameful. And it's coming from someone who has a lot of people that were either in the military or are still in the military. In your family. Yes, I come from a very strong military family. So I have much respect for veterans, especially the ones that have been around since World War II. Oh, well, they're dying off, babes. They are dying off. They're getting older. Yep. I do have a lot of respect for veterans. I do want to start a World War II dating site at some point. But we can wait a couple. They're years. Old, Bubs. I know. Mm. Sorry. They're probably not. You hurt my nose. Sorry, babes. We were playing with our hands, and my hand moved. Oh. Sorry, babes. You're blaming me for that. Oh no! I was saying we were playing with, and my hand moves. Okay. Okay. This is a really good film. I want people to see it. I would recommend it. Would you tell your family to watch it? Oh, yeah, sure. I would. How do you explain it to them? I don't have to explain it to them. I think the movie would explain itself. Okay. It really makes you think. Yeah. Because he thought, Cliff thought something was wrong with him because he couldn't keep a job. But what was really wrong was that he wasn't dealing with his PTSD about, from when he came back from the war. And he probably didn't understand how much it affected him. Yeah. Yeah. After this movie, babes, we're searching. You really wanted to watch the Bing Crosby film. Because I thought maybe there might be something good. And I wanted to watch a one called Going My Way because I think he got an Oscar for that one. Yeah, we couldn't find it, though. Yeah. I find one that's called The Road to Bali. And I'm like, oh, this is like one of their later road pictures with him and Bob Hope. It's not going to be that good. You're like, Bob, why watching? I'm like, are you sure? I don't think it's going to be that good. You're like, we're watching it, Bob. Well, I wanted to know what that was about, Bubs. I didn't know. It sounded pretty cheesy. And it wasn't I've never seen a movie with Bob Hope in it, so I didn't know much about Bob Hope anyway. I am a cinephile, so you could have, refer to me, but we did watch the movie. Oh. It's the basic plot is they're entertainers. They are leaving this gig and they hide out like by these goats, find these guys from, I want to say India, but we had some disagreement about that. I'm not sure exactly when they got there, to tell you the truth. And they want them to dive and get this treasure. Yeah. Go with these men, find the princess,
She's super hot. She's Indian, and everybody loves Indian women. I do. And so
I'm sorry, I'm not.
I still love you, babes. And they fall in love with her. She's like, I don't know which one I want to be with.
Yeah.
Bob Hope gets the treasure. They stop the guys from killing them, but they go to this other island because they're trying to go to Bali. Guy who runs the island knows her. She wants
that's her cousin.
It's her dad's friend.
Her dad's friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
She wants to get married to both Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. And is like, well, you can do that here.
Do that on this island, yeah.
Yeah. But then this other guy who helps run the island is like, no, I want them to get married to each other. So Bob Hope...
Yes.
So Bob Hope and Bing Crosby get married. There's a problem with the volcano. They escape. And she ends up choosing
Bing
Crosby, and Jane Russell also joins them. And Bob Hope doesn't get anybody.
Gene Russell?
Yeah.
Who did he play?
Jane Russell, remember he... was it Jane Russell? It's Marissa Harditay's mom. Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield.
I'm sorry.
Mariska
Harditay. Yeah, okay.
Mariska Harditay's mom, yeah.
I got you. Jane Mansfield goes off with Bob Hope and your girl. Goes off with Bing Crosby and your girl. And Bob Hope doesn't want the movie to end.
Yeah, and Jane Mansfield is supposed to be the princess, right?
No. She was the girl who Bob Hope summoned with was it the flute? At the end of
I think it's supposed to be a flute, but it sounded more like an oboe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
There are some funny things.
But when I watch a movie, I like it to be connected to reality.
It's not.
Okay, but I'm telling you what I like. And this film is too much about the jokes. And even you admitted that last night.
Yeah, I will say that. I think that there should have been more of a storyline. I would agree with you on that one. I thought the jokes were funny, but I mean, I wish there would have been a storyline with the princess and her cousin and all the craziness.
I'd give this one a thumbs down.
Excuse me, I give it a weak 7.
Oh, wow.
I did. Yeah, I told you that last night.
Yeah.
You gave it a 6.5.
I give it a 6.5. I'd probably maybe give it a 5 today. But I don't know.
5? A 5 is too low.
That's my opinion, babes.
Oh, I know, but a 5 is too low.
Oh, I'd give it a 9.9 then. Out of 10. No, but I can't recommend it. There are a few laughs, but it needed a better story.
They didn't even know how to pronounce Bali.
Yes, the lady in it who's supposed to be from there, she calls it Bali.
And I'm like, no, it's Bali.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's Bali.
I will say this, at least they didn't get a white woman to play the princess. I hope not.
So she was dark.
She was dark. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, well, I hope they just didn't force this lady to tan for 6 months straight or something.
Put dark makeup on her.
Yeah, that's probably like John Wayne came to them and said, we can't have a dark-skinned person. Let's just have a white lady tan for a year. And
yeah, like she put on some fake tanning solution.
Yeah.
I know people do that, but I heard that a self-tanning lotion causes sometimes it causes your skin to turn orange. That's what I heard.
Well, good.
And that it's better to tan in the sun than to tan in a tanning bed because the rays are so the rays are really not good for your skin in that tanning bed.
Nice.
I remember so I used to watch My Strange Addiction.
You did.
It might have been My Strange Addiction or a different show just because it was kind of funny. This girl was in her 20s and the rest of her looked young except for her hands. And her hands were super old looking because she tanned a lot.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. She tanned a lot.
Well, good.
Yes.
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 I don't really know if I could say anything about this film.
Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask you. Do you recommend it to your family? If so, how do you sell it?
I don't think I could. I mean, it was kind of disappointing to tell you the truth.
Okay.
It was funny, but it was disappointing just because there should have been a storyline with the comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Philadelphia Story had one.
Yeah.
And so did High Society. That had a story, and I liked it. And it was easy to follow. This is actually kind of confusing.
I mean, I followed it, but I just don't think that there's a lot there.
I know. That's why it was confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It was confusing to follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree, babes.
I'd agree.
Oh, good. Well, babes.
Yeah?
I don't think you had any dreams last night, did you?
I did not, but I was gone. I was out.
You were.
I was.
Oh, good.
Especially since somebody would not stop recording when I said, I'm tired.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure that person had the best intentions. What?
Oh my goodness.
What?
You know what I'm talking about, but I won't go any further with it.
Oh, good. Yeah. You don't want to harp on the past, babes. Come on, let's move forward. Well, babes.
Yeah?
Since you brought up a sensitive topic, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Okay.
You want to give me a kiss?
Maybe.
Yeah, and then we'll start working on the fudge.
Unless you want a snack first.
Oh, so we should have a snack, then we should start working on the fudge.
Okay.
For your sake.
Okay. Bubs.
What?
Oh, noise.
All right,
You're distracting.
No noise, babes. You're distracting me.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.